Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, Vibing After Dark _ with Mo. And if you're new to my channel, how about hit that subscribe button? And if you're a returning subscriber, how about sending it to a family or a friend so they can vibe out with us? And please, 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 please make sure you like this video. That helps out a lot, and thanks in advance. Okay, you guys, so as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about Travion Taylor, 21 years old, Jessica Ross, 20 years old, and this doctor, Miss Tracy St. Julian. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I want to know, have y'all heard about this story? It's been going around, like I said, it is viral because this young couple right here was carrying a child, a little boy at that, their first child together. And he was going to be Travion Jr. He was a junior. And on July 9th, Jessica went into labor and they went to Southern Regional Medical Hospital to give birth to their baby. And she was in labor for about 10 hours. Dr. Tracy St. Julian was her doctor. And around about 8, she was ready to push. This is when the complications started. So, the doctor realized the baby's shoulders was too wide for her birth canal to come out. Instead of doing an emergency C-section, which what they said, the girl wanted a C-section, but the doctor still was trying to deliver the baby vaginally. About 3 hours into trying to deliver the baby, that's when the doctor then decided to do the C-section. So they sent her into the next room to prepare for surgery. And when this doctor did surgery, she pulled out the baby torso and legs, not the head. So she spent 3 hours trying to deliver this baby, knowing that the shoulders was stuck and was too wide to come out this girl's vagina. And she was steady pulling and pulling and pulling. And so the whole situation is bad. But the worst part to me is this lady tried to cover this whole thing up. I understand she probably got scared, but still. So after pulling the baby body out and not the head, she then took the girl back into their room to deliver the head vaginally. When the couple asked to see the baby, they gave excuses as to why they couldn't see the baby. And later on, and I'm not sure about this part, but later on, I think it was the next morning when they showed the baby in the NICU. They placed the baby head on the body and wrapped them up tight so it looked like a normal baby just snuggled up in the blanket. And that's sad. So after the couple kept having questions as to why they can't see the baby and hold the baby, on the 13th, the doctor finally came out and told that the baby was not alive. Still not being completely honest and telling what actually happened to the baby. So they asked for an autopsy and they told them an autopsy wasn't needed, and they encouraged them to cremate the baby instead of having a proper burial. So it wasn't until the baby got to the funeral home, and the funeral home people is what made them come out and tell the truth as to what really happened to the child. So the parents of Travion Jr. has a lawsuit going against Southern Regional Medical Center and the staff, not just the hospital, the staff too, the nurses too, because they all knew what was going on and they held that and covered up for this doctor. So this is the statement Southern Regional Medical Center put out, and it says, while our heartfelt sympathies go out to the family, Southern Regional Medical Center denies the allegation in the complaint referencing the hospital. Since this matter is in litigation, we are refraining from providing any additional information. Dr. Tracy St. Julian has not spoken at all yet so far. But I went on her page and I just went through her reviews and everything like that before this incident. And a lot of people actually said she was a great doctor and they actually love how she worked. And they said it was pleasant being around them. I seen maybe 2 or 3 people that had complaints about her. But other than that, it seemed like this was a very great doctor. Now, like I said, I know things happen, mistakes happen, and she should have did better with judging the situation, being that she didn't did this before. So she was practicing labor and delivery since 2005. So, ma'am, you had much experience, a lot of experience. So you should have known not to keep trying to bring this baby out through the vagina. You should have known that. You should have known that. And like I said, her being scared probably is what made her did this covering up. But that just went where he left. Always tell the truth. Always be honest from the point of whenever you do something. Because now this turned into a crime. This is definitely like a crime now. When you could have just like been completely honest from the jump. Even though it still wouldn't make the situation better for the family. But look how you look now. You all over social media. And so, y'all, this hospital is really trying to cover their butt. So they said, too, in general, physicians are not employed by hospitals. The spokesperson said they receive privileges to provide service, perform procedures, and visit their patients at the hospital where they are privileged. Our heartfelt thoughts and prayers are with the family and all those impacted by the tragic event. The statement added, our prayers also remain with the dedicated team of physicians, nurses, and staff at Southern Regional Medical Center who care for the patient. The hospital declined to provide other information, citing privacy laws, and said was cooperating with all investigations. So they know they got this lawsuit coming, and they trying to stay clear out of the lawsuit, trying to say basically this doctor just came to the hospital to deliver this baby. She does not work for the hospital. But y'all know how lawsuits go. All y'all getting sued. Every last one of y'all. The hospital, and like I said, they trying to sue the nurses too because they was in on it. But I'm gonna play y'all this video of the press conference, and I just want to send out a trigger warning because the man went into more detail of the situation. So if you think you might get triggered, this is the point where you should probably just click off the video.
Unfortunate that the healthcare providers at Southern Regional Hospital, after this horrific incident, told them these things and tried to hide what actually happened.
Okay. On July the 9th, 2023, just a few weeks ago, Jessica and Travion, they were excited. She was 37 weeks pregnant at that time, and they were really, really looking forward to the delivery of their firstborn child. Her water broke at about 10 o'clock in the morning on the 9th. Appropriately, she went over to labor and delivery over the Southern Regional. They admitted her and put her on an IV and gave her some medicine to basically progress the delivery. She labored for about 10 hours, and then probably around about 8:40 in the evening, she was fully dilated, and they told her to start pushing. Well, during the course of the pushing, the baby stopped descending. There's something called a shoulder dystocia, fancy word for saying that the baby's shoulders could not fit through the pelvic girdle. It got stuck by the bone there in the pelvic girdle. That was recognized, and what wound up happening after that is just brutal. Dr. St. Julian came in, and she, in the process of trying to deliver this baby, pulled on the baby's head and neck so hard and manipulated them so hard that the bones in the baby's skull, face, and neck were broken. When Dr. St. Julian finally took Miss Ross to the operating room for a C-section, cesarean section, where they cut the belly and deliver the baby through the abdomen, when the womb was opened, the feet came out, the body came out, and there was no head. The head was stuck in the vagina, and the head subsequently was delivered vaginally. The baby had been decapitated. Dr. St. Julian was grossly negligent for applying ridiculously excessive force on the baby's head and neck. Dr. St. Julian and the nurses at Southern Regional Medical Center, they were grossly negligent for not getting the help of the on-site in-hospital OB in a timely manner. They have a hospitalist obstetrician who's there on site. And when doctors have problems with delivery, the first thing you do is call them and you get help. You get another perspective, another angle. This was not done in a timely manner, negligently. And then also the nurses at Southern Regional Medical Center were grossly negligent for failing to advocate and insist in other capacities that Ms. Ross got a C-section quicker, sooner, in a more timely manner. So those are the allegations that we claim in this suit. We just filed it. We're going to be very, very aggressive with the discovery. We're going to put all of these people who were in the room under oath and find out what they have to say specifically about what happened that tragic evening. That is the essence of our suit. That's the essence of the press conference, and we're going to open things up for open things up for question right now.
Have you spoken with the hospital? I mean, why do you think they tried to cover this up?
Yeah, we cannot speculate about what the motivations were for the lack of candor, the lack of disclosure, the misrepresentation, and the fraud. We will find out because we're going to put everybody under oath, and they're going to swear, and they're going to tell us what they were thinking. We don't know.
How long did it take Jessica and everyone to learn what happened to their child?
Attorney Lynch, if you would. This is dealing with the fraud and cover-up.
The family went in on the 9th for the delivery of the child. They were not notified of what actually happened until the 13th, a few days later.
And that was from the medical examiner? That wasn't
No,
from the
that was
hospital?
from the funeral home.
That was from the funeral.
Yes.
Can you also speak to the fact that they were not allowed to hold their child?
Yes, they were not allowed to hold their child. The hospital basically said, hey, well, we can't let you hold the child. We can, and my understanding is that they at one time did not want them to see the child. But what they did, the hospital wrapped the child up very tightly so that they could not see what actually happened, and that they were able to see the child behind the glass.
And let me be more specific. In an attempt to basically misrepresent and miscommunicate to the family, when they wrapped this baby up tightly, they propped the baby's head up on top of the blanket to make it appear as though the head was actually attached when it wasn't.
So they actually saw the baby on the day of the delivery?
The day that morning, well, the day of the delivery, it's my understanding that same day. So when I say same, they kind of went from the 9th into the 10th. So the stat C-section was called at about close to midnight. The surgery was over at 3 in the morning. The first conversation that Dr. St. Julian had with the couple was at about 5 in the morning, and that's when there was not total candor and disclosure at that time. The records reflect that Dr. St. Julian came in the next day and the next day after with the intention of actually.
All right, you guys, y'all let me know what y'all think about this sad, tragic story. And I was on TikTok searching things, and it was another case where a male doctor did the same thing to another couple. So this is happening quite often, more than it should be, because it shouldn't be happening at all. You go to school, you learn, you have like experience, so you should know better of what to do. I don't know, y'all. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section below. I do comment back, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.